Another top 5 animals that save people's lives. Hello there, YouTube. Now, in a previous video, we gave you a list of 5 amazing animals that saved people's lives. Now, because there were so many of these amazing stories floating around the internet, one list was just simply not enough. So we figured, why not spread more good vibrations around and, well, make another list. So here it is. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the feel-good comments with another top 5 animals that saved people's lives. Honestly though, before we begin, why don't you hit that subscribe button and maybe save us a little? We're going through a little bit of a tough time with our previous channel, Top 5 Best, and we're uploading to this new channel, so it honestly would mean a lot to us if you subscribe to this channel as well. Either way, let's begin, shall we? Number 5, Mandy the goat and Mandy the dog. No relation. While Noel Osborne, a farmer in Australia, may not have shown much imagination in naming his pets, he certainly showed a great deal of skill in choosing his animal friends. Osborne, who was 78 at the time, was knocked over into a pile of manure by one of his cows back in 2002. He suffered a broken hip and naturally was unable to move. He was left out in the open in the brutal Australian weather, very hot days, bitter cold nights, and storms. Fortunately, he had been discovered by 2 of his friends, Mandy his collie and Mandy his nanny goat. They came to keep him warm in the cold nights. Osborne had managed to find a container and the goat was patient enough to allow him to get enough milk to keep himself fed and hydrated. During the 5 days that he lay there without human help, the 2 Mandys watched over him, kept him company, and warmed him. At last, some human friends stopped by to pick up a kid goat and they discovered Osborne indisposed in his pile of manure. Unable to move him, they called an ambulance. The old farmer was far enough gone by then that he remembers little of his final rescue. He recovered completely from his ordeal and credits his animals with saving his life, particularly the goat. He swears now that goat's milk is the elixir of life. Number 4, Mia the beluga whale. Beluga's a fun little word to say. Beluga whales are small whales that look much more like dolphins but with a shorter snout. This kind of whale is one of the most cordial to humans and were the first of their kind to have interactions with humans centuries ago. They even have facial muscles that allow these beautiful creatures to smile. It has been long thought that the legends about mermaids and merpeople in general came about because of early sightings of these sociable mammals. Because of their docile nature, they had the perfect animals for aquarium exhibits around the world. It was in one of these exhibits where a beluga named Mia gained international fame by saving a life. A free diving competition was being held at the Polarland Aquarium in Harbin, China. Basically, it's a competition to see who can hold his or her breath longest under the Arctic temperature waters. Yang Yoon, one of the female competitors, joined in hoping to land a job in the aquarium's whale enclosure. She was able to reach the finals, and for her last dive intended to dive as deep as she could for as long as she could, without any diving equipment. Her descent went on smoothly enough, but when she couldn't hold her breath for much longer, she started to make her long ascent to the surface. However, right as she was doing so, both of her legs started to cramp up, preventing her from ascending any further. She started to sink to the bottom again, desperately hoping someone would see her predicament and come to her aid. Fortunately, she didn't have to wait long for the help. Mia the beluga apparently sensed that something was wrong with Yang Yoon and approached her. She then gently gripped Yang Yoon's leg with her mouth and slowly pushed her to the surface. The event organizers, who didn't know anything was wrong happening at this time, saw the whale pushing the girl to the surface and then acted accordingly. Yang Yoon stated that she owed her life to Mia. It is a good thing that they decided to hold this competition in a controlled environment like in the aquarium. I dread to imagine what it would have been like if they held it in the open ocean where most free diving contests are conducted. Things might have gone very, very badly for Yang. Number 3, Lefty the pit bull. Tell me something, would you take a bullet for a loved one? To one particularly brave little pit bull from Virginia, the answer is a resounding yes. When sweet and gentle Lefty was brought into the Atlantic Animal Hospital in Accomack County, Virginia, she had just been hit with a bullet. As the story goes, 4 intruders had entered Lefty's family home in the middle of the night of July 22, 2013, and one attempted to shoot the father of the family, whose name has not been released. Lefty went straight for him, putting herself between the muzzle of the gun and the owner, and the bullet struck her instead. Bleeding heavily and in shock, the shot shattered her right shoulder and humerus bone and blew away the muscle on her leg. Surgeons got to work immediately, but they were unable to save her leg. While Lefty had saved the lives of all the members of her family, they lost everything in the robbery and were now unable to pay the bills for her costly operation. The caring vets at the animal hospital posted a plea for help on their Facebook page. They said in their post, if you could help her and her family pay for some of her surgical expenses, they would be so grateful. They want to get home as soon as possible because the children are very, very afraid without her. Lefty's remarkable story of love and loyalty inspired Facebook animal lovers and friends of the Atlantic Animal Hospital to come forward and help with the necessary funds to cover costs. Lefty had her surgery, and on July 26, which is the day after the amputation, the hospital posted a video of her walking around the yard. She seemed to be doing remarkably well, romping around as if she had been a three-legged dog all her life. And finally, on July 29th, the day was scheduled to be discharged. The hospital's Facebook account posted an update saying that donations have covered all of Lefty's medical expenses. Honestly, it's so uplifting to see a community coming together to provide a happy ending to an otherwise very tragic event. Though it does make me wonder, was she always called Lefty? Or was this kind of a circumstantial name? Number 2. Kabang the dog. And in the previous entry in this list, we told the story of a heroic dog that united a community. In this next one, we'll tell you a story of a heroic dog that galvanized people from 22 different countries to give her a better quality life. Now, a bit of a warning to some of our more emotional viewers, this can be a very hard story to read, so if you want to skip past this, we'll let you go to the first one. Mr. Video Editor, could you please put up a notification to go to the last entry in this? Thank you very much, you are very oddly handsome. Alright, is everybody ready? Okay, here we go. Kabang the dog was found as an abandoned puppy in the rice paddies of Zamboanga City in the Philippines. Her owner originally intended to fatten her up before butchering her to be eaten by his family, until her daughter and niece convinced him not to do so and just keep her as a pet. He decided to listen to their wishes, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't regret that decision at all. One day, the owner's daughter and niece were playing on the street with Kabang when all of a sudden a motorcycle came speeding towards the two girls. Before anybody could even realize what was happening, Kabang leapt in front of the motorcycle, preventing it from potentially hitting the two girls. The girls were shaken but unhurt, but the heroic dog didn't get off so easily. Her snout got entangled with the spokes of the motorcycle, ripping the top part of her snout and jaw off. Her owner did manage to free her from the wreckage. However, she fled and didn't come back for 2 weeks. When she eventually came back home, the full horrific extent of her injuries became obvious. She was rushed to the vet where she was given treatment and antibiotics, but because of her injuries, the Filipino vets advised euthanasia, to which her owner vehemently declined. He did take her home and took care of her. She even eventually got pregnant and gave birth to puppies. Kabang's heroism reached local news media and became somewhat of a local celebrity. This became the catalyst for her story to reach a global audience, eventually mobilizing a movement to help give her the medical attention that she needed, which the local vets are clearly not able to give her. A Facebook page was created and even a website dedicated to raising awareness of Kabang's story and funds to be able to take her and her family to the US for an operation. All in all, they were able to raise around $20,000 for Kabang. So Kabang was able to go to the US to get treated. There was even a send-off party for her with a motorcade attended by hundreds just to see her off at the airport. She spent 7 months in the hospital, not only getting the surgery that she needed, but also got treatment for cancer and heartworm. Although the vets weren't able to reconstruct her snout, they were able to close the gaping wound where her snout was supposed to be, preventing any more infection from happening. Kabang returned to the Philippines a happy dog, but her owner, knowing that he would not be able to give her the life she deserved, opted to give her to the Filipino vet who initially helped her. As of doing research for this video, it has been reported that Kabang's previous owner had died, and his dying wish was to see Kabang again for the last time. I'm honestly not sure if he got his wish, but I feel like he did. Number 1. Willy the parrot. Parrots, especially the talking ones, can be really annoying. Especially those ones who have been taught by their owners to say rude stuff. Believe me, I know my neighbor's parrot goes out of his way to call me butt ugly every time I pass by his house. Stupid friggin' Jenkins. Thinks he's cool because he's a friggin' bird. However, unlike Jenkins, this story is not about him, but of a particularly heroic parrot who was instrumental in saving a child's life. Megan Howard was babysitting little Hannah in November 2009. She left Hannah in a room while eating Pop-Tarts with her parent named Willy. A few minutes after leaving the room, Megan heard Willy frantically squawking and flapping her wings. When she heard Willy cry "Mama baby" over and over again, she felt that something was amiss and she quickly ran back into the room. She found poor Hannah, her face turning blue, choking on the Pop-Tart that she was eating. Clearly mortified, Megan immediately performed the Heimlich maneuver, removing the pop chart that was blocking Hannah's airway and saving her life. Although it is true that Megan was the one that performed the life-saving act, she constantly credits little Willy to be the hero of the day, and it seems that others think the same way too. Shortly after the incident, Willy was honored by no other than the Red Cross for his role in saving the life of the toddler. And that was our video for today, everybody. Thank you for watching another top 5 animals that save people's lives, and be sure to hit that like button if you like the video. Also, don't forget to share this with all your little friends, and also hit the bell icon so that you'll be notified every time we upload a new video, and believe me, we upload new and interesting videos all the time. You have my awesome guarantee. Thanks for watching, and see you all next time.